Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.
Okay, good evening, fellow Liberians. It's actually good to be back here. We had some issues we were actually looking after, because the institution is taking a very big plan of contribute significantly to the growth and progress of the Liberian media landscape. So we try to get ourselves involved into many other activities. So we are also in the process of exploiting the opportunity to have an assigned reporters at the grounds of the executive mansion. So the process has since we have embarked upon the process. The process has since been very tedious. My colleague and I, Mohammed Van Kana, we have been in the process for uh, like uh, like two to 3 days now. We have been there, and I was also there early this morning. But I think uh, we that is one of the reasons you never used to actually see us. But however, we are actually back here to contribute towards the developments pertaining to our country, Liberia. So it's actually good to be back here. For those of you who are watching this live program, my name is K. Lyndon Truba. It's good to be back here. Kindly share our live video. Kindly share our live video. There are so many things to talk about, especially involving our country, Liberia. As you may be aware, we now have a new government in power, but there are some early missteps. Uh, there are some early missteps that we have started to observe in the process of the Unity Party leadership under the presidencies of Joseph Human Waka. So those are key issues we'll also be talking about. We will talk about the drama that unfolded at the Rabat International Airport. We will also talk about the one of the most trending situations in the country that has to do with the former ruling party, chairman's resignations, Moba Malu. It will interest you to know that since the birth of CDC, they have had other people occupying the position as chairman of the Congress of Democratic Change. But Moba Malu has been one of the longest serving chairman. He took over from George Sulu. He took over for George Sulu, and since then he has been conducting the affairs of the party aligns with other executive members of the coalitions of democratic change. We will read the content of his letter of resignations. That has been one of the overwhelming topic. As also on that, we will also talk about the We will also talk about the drama that unfolded, and we will also be looking at some key sectors. So we are hoping that our guest, Harrison Kemu, uh, can can actually make his way, so that we can look at some of those trending national issues involving the political space of our country, Liberia. So for those of you who are watching, what about YouTube via live Facebook pages? We want to say we are appealing to you to come share our live video. Most interestingly, uh, the ABJ Foundations in partnership with Focal Online TV, because the ABJ Foundations and Focal Online TV have a very unique partnership. They have a very unique partnership. In the coming days, they will be celebrating, or they will be honoring the International Women's Day. So actually, the program, the International Women's Day, will actually fall on the 8th of March. But the ABJ Foundation's gender section will definitely honor the occasions on the 9th of March. That will definitely be on Saturday. So they are also in the process of requesting other people who want to be a part of the program. Initially, they have series of announcements on outgoing to the public, and wherein when you want to be a part. But actually, the message. Let me go to the message and see as to what I can bring out the message. Uh, Bear with me a bit. Let me see where. Okay, let me see what I can message. Okay, bear with me. Share the live video. Keep sharing the video. Keep sharing the video. Okay, Thursday. Notice, notice International Women Day celebration. The Andy Della Foundation's gender section is now accepting application for the upcoming International Women's Day celebration scheduled for March 8th, 2024. This year theme is Inspired Inclusion. The foundation will honor the occasion on March 9th with a children-oriented program aimed at addressing gender-related challenges. To participate, children under age 6 to 12 are invited to create a 30-minute poem video related to the International Women's Day, including the hashtag. The hashtag, I guess a lot of you know what they do mean when they talk about hashtag. You just press hash, then you jam the wall closer to the hashtag, then will definitely reflect uh, the hashtag and submit it in the comment section. They must also follow ABJ Foundations and Fuka Online TV, which is our official Facebook page. Invite 25 people to follow the pages and provide a screenshot as proof. Participant will fulfill the requirement. For participant who fulfill the requirement will be rewarded with 5,000 Liberian dollars. Children may use their parents or guardian phone. Okay, so that is it. So we have the upcoming International Women's Day program. The program is actually scheduled for March 9th. So it will actually be a children-oriented program. Aside from that, other people too are also invited. Women who have been able to brave the storm, to defy the odds in society, and made the issues about marginalizations, stereotypes. For several decades, normally you never used to hear female actually being fully represented in the decision making process of our country. But over times, there are some women, in spite of the issues about marginalization, in spite about the issues about societal stereotypes, And there are some women who have been able to navigate their way to significantly contribute towards whether by leadership, whether by by getting themselves involved into projects. They have been able to do a lot of do a lot of things that have since uh, amplified the need for females to actually be represented at the level. So even in Liberia, there was a time our history made us to understand there was a time females were not were not allowed, females were not allowed to vote. But at some point in time, they started observing the brilliance of some females all around the world and even in the country on how they were very much devoted to a particular functions that was given to them. So people have now seen the need to amplify the issues about female participation in whether it is an NGO sector, it is in government, it is in the private sector. There is actually a need for female to be represented in all spectrum of the society. You understand? So female needs to be represented. So there are lots of people who are doing a fantastic job in terms of females are actually doing well. You understand? Like we have the just ended 2023 election. That whole election, despite all of those lingering concerns, all of those challenges, a female was able to conduct the process under a very, very peaceful atmosphere. Deviata Brown Lasana was able to conduct the process under, under very peaceful. You had a lot of people giving threatening statements, but in spite of every other issue, Deviata Brown Lasana was able to conduct the process. So, I mean, females are actually, female are actually doing well. They are actually making a lot of impact. They have been making a lot of impact. So as I said, please keep sharing the live video. Keep sharing the live video. I see my own brother. I see Andy P. Crispo. I'm watching from my up district team office. So Andy, thank you for watching. Keep sharing the live video. Keep sharing the live video. There are other things to talk about. This issues about stripping people of the tenant position has been one of the most trending issue to talk about. Why is it that the Unity Party that was criticized the issues about removing people from the tenant position is now in the process of stripping people of the tenant position? The last I was watching a particular video and I heard the legal advisor to President Joseph Dumont Boakat, Ben Shube Keita, I hope I pronounced his name right. I heard him giving a clarifications and citing a particular reliance within the Constitution. But here is what I make about this whole thing. Uh, One of the reasons why I believe the Unity Party folks uh, should not be doing this. And we actually interest a lot of people, and there are a lot of people who are even astonished owing to the fact that the latest appointment, one of the latest appointment made by His Excellency Joseph Bima Boakat has been tailored around those people. Have been tailored around people who are currently serving in tenure positions. Uh, See, the Unity Party for the last 6 years, when George former President George Weah served as president of the country, there were several noise about when George Weah made an attempt to remove a particular people or a set of people from their tenure position. The people were actually making the Unity Party folks were actually making a whole lot of noise. They had a lot of things to say about former President George Man Weah. He said George Weah, George Weah want to prove himself to be a dictator. You understand? He wants to prove himself. He is now wearing a dictatorial garment. Uh, but now that the Unity Party has won the elections, even though the elections, the climate under which they won the election is something everybody has since agreed to. You understand? If you listen to a lot of Liberians, they have since been talking about governance, aside from a few segment of the people who have not realized that we are no longer in the campaign mode. We are no longer in the campaign mode. So every other time you listen to people, they will also be talking. The since Joseph Waga was sworn in as president on January 22nd, 2024, people attentions, the entire world is up there, is looking up to Joseph Waka to see how Joseph Waka is going to drive the country, the agenda of the country in terms of fulfilling that which, of course, is manifesto, the arrest manifesto has said to the Liberian people. So most people are actually looking at Joseph Waka as to how he intends to run the country for the next 6 years. So there is one thing that I want to caution President Joseph Boakai, or recommend to do President Joseph Boakai. It has to do with the fact that while it is true that we understand that the president has a lot of people he listens to, a lot of people he has, so many people who at times make suggestions to the president. They make suggestions to the president. At times, some of those suggestions they make to the president may not be very right. As at times, some of those suggestions, is based upon their own personal sentiment. But the president actually needs to be very careful of how he intends to govern the country. One of the speeches that I admire for the president, which I have not been able to see any vivid action, is when the president said that there is absolutely no room for a blue Liberian. There is no room for a green Liberian. There is absolutely no room for a red Liberian. I felt that the president was in the process of reconsolidating the Liberian people after the elections. I felt that the president was being more conscious of the kind of tedious responsibility he is about to embark upon. And nobody should even tell you that the job of the president is not a tedious job. It is actually a tedious job. You know, imagine we have over 5 million people living in the country, and every one of the people who are living in the country look up to you for direction. I can remember when President George Weah served as president of the country for the last 6 years. Every other blame, bulk of the challenges that people saw in the country, bulk of the losses that people saw in the country, they usually tailor that to President Weah. Why? Because at the time the Liberian people felt that George Weah is the president of the Republic of Liberia. So by virtue of him becoming the president of the country, every other thing that happened, or every other thing that happened in the country, he should provide, and he should provide leadership. He should be able to demonstrate leadership to whatever happens in the country. So you see, every time you listen to radio, you hear people criticizing President George Weah. And at times, sometimes George Weah used to actually get mad. And some people who are very passionate, who were very loyal to President Weah, they would sometimes get angry over the fact that every time you listen to the radio, you will hear President Weah, you will hear President Weah name, people criticizing President Weah over a particular issue. And now that the ball, flipped to Joseph Boakai, every Liberian, regardless of their political disagreement, did now look up to President Joseph Boakai as the president to drive the agenda of the country for the next 6 years. So it is about time that Joseph Boakai and those in Unity Party who are playing crucial roles in the country it is about time that they need to deactivate their opposition mode and put on a mode of governance. You understand? You are no longer an ordinary Liberian citizen. Once you are a member of this administration, you should be more concerned about doing everything positive to promote the agenda of the government, not by inflating or trying to preach divisive politics. The time for politics is over. You were given a piece of job to do. You were given a piece of job to do. And I think the job that you were given to is even more paramount than your political opinion. The job you were given to, and for those of you who are ministers, whether you are a legal advisor to the president or whatever position you hold within this new establishment, you should get in mind that that position you hold, it is actually a privilege because there are competent Liberians way more than you. But it is because of the kind of privilege. It is not based upon the kind of proximity you have with the president. Because a lot of you think that the reason why you are occupying and a particular positions in government is because of the kind of position you have with the president. Regardless of the kind of position you have with the president, you need to see yourself as an enabler, a person who is there to help the president to definitely do positive things that will bring glorification to the government. You know, one of the reasons why the Liberian people voted President George Weah out were some of the ways people in the Weah-led administrations, officials from the Weah-led administrations were behaving. Some of those people who served under the Weah-led administration, they didn't realize that they needed to tailor most of their idea, their advocacies, their efforts toward promoting the government. They were still fighting opposition warfare. They were still fighting opposition warfare. So as a particular official, once you are appointed by the president, you need to clearly define which one of the role you want to play. You either choose to, if you want to be playing the opposition role, then you say, I will just sit and watch the process. Then there is absolutely no need. But once you were appointed by the Liberian people or by the president of the Republic of Liberia, as such, you are answerable to the Liberian people. You are answerable to the Liberian people. So let's go to the constitution or the legal component of this whole tenure wahala. Let's go to the legal component of this whole tenure wahala. I am even shocked that the Unity Party with His Excellency Joseph Boakai will be making such an appointment, where he knows fully well that some of those people he is now trying to replace based upon the recent appointment he made. Some of these people have unexpired tenure. Like Emma Glasgow. Director Emma Glasgow, she does have a tenure position. Director Emma Glasgow does have a tenure position. Edwina Zakpa, the head of LTA, she has a tenure position. the National Road Fund, Garrison Yelu, no, not Garrison Yelu, Governance Commission, Garrison Yelu. He has a tenure position. And even the road fund, the person who served as the officer, the tenure officer at the National Road Fund, he also has a tenure position. So the issue, I could partially agree with of Mr. Keita, but it is the right time to actually go after these people when you don't have the office of the ombudsman going after these people. I think if the president wants to remove these people, it should be on the basis of a just cause. We understand that there are protocols that govern officers who serve tenure positions. We understand that in as much as the president has the authority to appoint based on his pleasure, he can terminate your appointment or he can cancel your appointment when he feels displeased. But I want to believe that removing a particular person from the tenure position should be based on a cause and not on the basis of sentiment. So you said it very rightly in your first State of the Nation address that you were going to create the office of the ombudsman. I believe that the office of the ombudsman should be clothed with the responsibility by law. The office of the ombudsman is clothed with the responsibility to pursue those people and to do the necessary investigation. If you want to remove these people or strip off these people from their tenure position, my argument, it should be based on a very, very justifiable reason. It should be based that X, Y, and Z officer has violated the statute that govern this particular tenure position. Then there will be actually nobody will want to chastise you for the basis of removing them from their position. Thankfully, that the Supreme Court of Liberia has placed a prohibition, has placed a state order. So the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia is the final arbiter of justice in the country. We would definitely be observing the process to see what could be the outcome of this whole issue. We are actually observing the process to be able to determine what could be the determination, what could be the opinion coming from the Supreme Court. Every time the Supreme Court has done a particular ruling, it becomes a legal precedence. It becomes a legal precedence. It becomes an example. It can be referenced in the future. It can actually be referenced in the future. So let's go to another talking point. So on yesterday, former President George Manneh Weah returned to the country on yesterday. He and his wife, former First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Claire Marie Weah. That prior to the arrival of the former president, who is a very important personality, a very important person, VIP, and there was this hullabaloo, there was this noise about whether he would be permitted to use the new VIP launch that was dedicated by him in December prior to turning power over to another democratically elected president. So let's read. I saw this story in the Front Page Africa newspaper. I saw this story in the Front Page Africa newspaper. I saw this story in the Front Page Africa newspaper. Let's see. It said ex-president Weah wife denied ex-president Weah wife denied access to new VIP launch upon return to Liberia. Ex-president Weah wife denied access to new VIP launch upon return to Liberia. So let's go on and say Front Page Africa has gathered that former President George Weah and his wife, Madam Clara Weah, along with their entourage, were stopped from using the recently dedicated VIP lounge at the Rabat International Airport. The lounge was constructed by ex-president Weah and dedicated in December, just a week before leaving office. Front Page Africa has not been able to establish the reason why the ex-president was barred from using the lounge. Sekou Kalaskou, the special aide to former President Weah, told Front Page Africa that they were in Accra, Ghana, when they received a call from one of their Weah security personnel informing them that former president could not be allowed to use the new VIP lounge. According to him, they then called the protocol officers at the VIP lounge, who confirmed to them that they have received orders from above not to allow President Weah and his wife to use the new VIP lounge. Indeed, we came and formed the new VIP lounge lock. We used the old one. The former president didn't feel good about this, and he feels this shouldn't have happened. During his regime, he even allowed former ministers from Madam Salif's government to use the VIP lounge, Kalaskou said. So here is this whole issue. Because it was actually, then I will actually read you what the presidential press secretary Kula Fofana said. But prior to that, let me just give an opinion. Let me just give an opinion. Because at times when things happen, the way you respond or the way you react to things will either inflame the situation or it will quiet down the situation. Former President George Manneh Weah, by law, he is not an ordinary Liberian citizen. He is not an ordinary Liberian citizen. He is a very important person. He is a very important personality in this country. Despite he is the former president of the country, but there is a particular segment of the population within his party, and even Liberians who still remain loyal, who look up to President George Manneh Weah, whether for moral advice, whether for advice in any forms and manner. I feel that if at all there was a change in the protocol regarding who enters the new VIP lounge, it should have been publicized long time prior to the arrival of the president, of the former president. If there is a change in who are allowed or what kind of personalities, whether it was exclusively reserved for the president of the Republic of Liberia or the vice president of the country or other foreign guests who are coming into the country, I think it should have been communicated. But the inability of those who are the custodian of those facilities at the Rabat International Airport, the lack of communication, was the reason why the kind of interpretations, the kind of sentiment people are getting regarding this whole issue. So, former President George Bernard Weah has spent 1 month, 5 days out of the country. And obviously, there has been some transformation. But what I'm saying here is that if there is a transformation regarding who are those should be allowed to enter the new VIP, it should have been communicated. The people should have spread a message out so that the people get to know what kind of persons, what kind of individuals are given the leverage to enter the new VIP terminal. So let's go to Kula Fofana and see what she has to say about this particular thing. She was actually in the middle of the situations and yesterday regarding the situation that transpired. She had a lot of people calling her back and forth to provide a succinct clarification regarding what transpired yesterday at the Rabat International Airport involving former President George Bernard Weah, his wife, and other people at the Rabat International Airport. But the lack of communication, as I said earlier, make it to look apparently they have a set of protocol, a new set of protocol at the Rabat International Airport. So let's go to the presidential press secretary. She wrote it on her official page. I saw it a few minutes ago. Bear with me a little bit. Bear with me. Okay, bear with me a little bit. KULA. Bear with me a little bit. Fofana. Okay. Okay, I'm struggling to actually identify the push made this morning. I'm actually struggling. I'm actually struggling. Fofana. Bear with me. Trying to get the kind of the post she made. I'm trying to get the post she made yesterday regarding what transpired at the Rabat International Airport. If any one of you have it, you can just send it to me. If anybody has it, you can just send it to me. If any one of you have it, you can just send it to me so that we can actually uh, we can actually uh, if any one of you have it, just send it to me. I'll send it to my WhatsApp number. I'm trying hard to get it. Kula FOFA. All right, let me see what I can get it from the executive mansion. Probably she may have posted it on the executive mansion Facebook platform. E-mansion, E-mansion like here. Okay, let's take a short break. When we come back, let's take a short break. Let's just take a short break. Let's take a short musical break.
Yeah. Christoph the King. I'm back on these egotistic politicians. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. It's just the way that we live. My people still acting like graves. See, y'all need to change all that evil mentality. You won't receive, you must give. Let's change the way that we eat. Let's change the way that we think. See, I'm from the ghetto, where kids not that wasted. If you can smoke, you can drink. I know you been to America, but I just came from Soweto. Cause that by easy, the living is hard, but we still survive in the ghetto. When the government steal that embezzlement, the government people are problem. I swear to God, who gonna solve them? I swear to God, who gonna solve them? When you get money, you all in your brabby, you jack out to have on your product. I stand for the girls and the boys in the ghetto, the ones with no money to eat, man. They spend millions of dollars on guns, tuck your way our infrastructures and loved ones. 9 out of 11 with crumbs. Where I'm about to raise up my daughters and sons. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. I see no peace among all you politicians, but we got peace in the ghetto. All my people show me love. Yeah, we got love in the ghetto. The country too hard to do. The Bobby because but what they can do. You send your boys in my who? Excuse me, I'm talking to you. See how much you spend on your coat and your glasses like you don't even know the rules. See how many people are dying for hunger. See how much you spend on your shoes. Hey, wait. Someone please come and investigate. I done found out analysis. These politicians be changing their subjects and predicates. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. Government will feature for in my ribbons. See chilling with my ex. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. So government will feature for in my ribbons. See chilling with my ex. we need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, we're gonna control your soul. I thought it's still I live control your reach, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee. I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee. I hope I'm not in problem.
All right, so we are back. We are actually back here. Thank you for staying with us. I see a lot of the people have left. So, relative to the issue involving former President George Weah at the Rabat International Airport, like I said, the lack of communications, if at all there was a change in the protocol regarding the new VIP launch. I know how displeased former President George Weah felt on yesterday. I know how some people, some Liberians feel regarding the decision that was taken, which led the former president, who is a VIP, a very important personality, to use the old VIP. I know how it was. Imagine you dedicating a particular activity in the country and with no prior information as to whether there has been a shift, there has been new procedure attached to the Rabat International Airport, specifically at the new VIP lounge. Uh, I know he was quite disappointed. He felt it was politically motivated. Yeah, anybody could feel that it was actually politically motivated. It was a political witch. It was a witch hunt. It was something that the people orchestrated because they don't have any message to actually inform the public as to during X, Y, and Z time. We are reserving this space for, it will be used for the president and some other important guests, international guests coming to the country. All VIPs should use this site. Those are the kind of way you communicate to the people. By the time the authorities at the airport who have communicated that particular information by now, the kind of sentiment, the kind of impression that has been created in the public would have been, it would have been like that. So, like I said, the presidential press secretary Kula Fofana, a very brilliant woman, was here and there responding to call, several calls from media personalities within the country regarding that particular issue, regarding the audio involving former President George Weah and the folks at the Rabat International Airport. So this is why she posted. This is why she posted. She said former President George Weah was never denied access to the VIP lounge at the airport. She said former President George Weah was never denied access to the VIP lounge at the airport. In fact, he was welcomed with open arms. In fact, he was welcomed with open arms. I really don't know. Is it that the right message was not delivered? Because if all you said, President George Manuia was never, former President George Manuia was never denied access to the new VIP lounge? How is it that you had the president using the old VIP lounge? Because if you are to, if you are to welcome the president with an open, the former president with an open arm, it was then broadcasted by other media institutions. But if you check, almost every place, every media institutions in the country, you hear them complaining about the situations that took place at the Bravo International Airport. They said that the message was not properly executed as you deliver it. It is that you are trying to do a cover up. And this is why this is another post she made. This is another post she made, apparently in relations to this other one. We have a government to run. I think I believe that she was actually responding to some of those people who were exploiting the situations. We have a government to run. We will not be in the business of responding to baseless propaganda. Liberia has one president and JMB is the man. We will not be distracted. We will not be distracted. Madam Kula Fufanan, I think you have a job to actually do. And you owe that job to the Liberian people. So if all the Liberian people feel that you need to actually provide a particular clarity regarding a situation that needs your attention, it is binding upon you to respond. Sometimes when you are silent over a particular situation, it creates a room for people to speculate. And you know that speculation is actually dangerous. Because when people start to speculate and the level of their speculations becomes increasing, it tries to spark up tensions in the country. So this is why at times when there is a particular issue, when there is a growing issue in the country, it should be your responsibility to respond to those situations. Why it is true that what went wrong at the Rabat International Airport, there are other people who are exploiting what went wrong with a very negative perception and trying to do a propaganda that will definitely drag the government in the mud. But I think it is your responsibility. You are accountable to the Liberian people, especially in terms of providing clarity. This is why I said many of you in the cycle of the president, your responsibility to ensure that Joseph Boakat win or be successful in his presidential responsibility rests squarely on the shoulder. The people have a parable. And when I was a child, I used to listen to this particular parable. People often pay homage to general, not because the general is so extra,
But it is because of the kind of people who look up to this general for direction. So at times when you want to assassinate a particular general, if you want to assassinate a particular general, you are cognizant of the fact that the kind of men that are beyond the general. So you have a responsibility to defend the president, to provide clarity. You owe that to the Liberian people. You have, at the same time, you have the responsibility to safeguard the reputation and image of the president. That is the fundamental reasons why you were employed. So by now, if at all there is, the former president was not denied access, there should be a comprehensive investigation. There should be a particular committee set up to investigate whether the information that whosoever delivered that information never went the right way. Because you just said to the Liberian people that the president was never denied access to the new VIP lounge. In fact, he was open he was welcomed with open arms. Like I said, the way we approach issue will either amplify the situation or will lay the whole situation to rest. So since there is still a controversy regarding this particular situation, a government that cares mostly about the people, a government that cared about the welfare of every Liberian, regardless of your status, I believe that the Unity Party government under President Joseph Jomo Boakai should now begin designating a particular committee to probe into that particular situation at the airport. Sometimes, apparently, some of you who work in these positions, you have forgotten so easily, or you have forgotten so quick that the Liberian people are more important. They are the one you are serving. They are the one you are serving. You understand? So if the people feel that what went wrong at the airport should not have happened, considering the fact that Joseph Boakai has said that he is no longer going to run a government on the basis of partisanship. This is why our paramount concern should be about moving this country forward. Rather than trying to create unnecessary situations. You understand? That is why we need to be very careful of how we respond to issues. The reason why everyone was calling you back and forth, because currently in the new administration, we don't have yesterday I watched a particular video where the information minister Jamir Pia was actually responding to his confirmation, but I want to believe that he has not been commissioned or he has not taken office officially as the Minister of Information, Culture, and Tourism. So we need to. This is why you find a lot of the media colleagues were actually calling you back and forth to be able to, to verify what were the issues at the airport. You understand? So we need to be very careful of how we intend to proceed. You understand? To proceed on the issues. Like I said, the way you respond to a particular issue, we either inflict the situation or it will lay the situation to rest. You understand? So I think we have said a lot about this. So Vanny Sharif is asking what was wrong, but Vanny, I think the information here, the lack of communication was the problem on yesterday. The lack of communication, specifically from the angle of the airport authority. If at all there was a shift with who enters the premises, specifically the new VIP, the new VIP lounge, it should have been widely communicated, But obviously yesterday the former president actually used the old VIP. And President Weah is a very important personality because that is VIP launch. VIP launch. If for any reason they are reserving the new VIP exclusively for the president and other high-profile guests who are entering the country, it should have been communicated. But the inability of those people to communicate those things created the situations that happened at the airport. So that is the issue. That is actually the issue. So I think we so you need to actually be asking need to actually be responding to Kula Fofana and listen to what Kula Fofana said, so but now they should have even commissioned an investigation or designated a particular committee to probe into that particular thing. President Weah former President George Weah was not very pleased with what happened on yesterday. So anybody will not be pleased. Any other persons will not be pleased about what happened on yesterday. So let's just take a short break. When we come back, we begin diving into other trending issues. We all know that the issues about the president 100 days commitment has been surfaced as one of the potential arguments since President Joseph Boakai was sworn in as president of the country. So we are now moving. People are now counting. Counting the 100 days of the president, and people are now counting. And we will definitely hold the president by his word. We will definitely hold the president by his word, because whenever you make a particular statement, we should hold you by your word. And since then, aside from what the president said during the course of the election, one could term it to be, other people term it to be an election statement. But however, the president has been able to reiterate, giving like many Liberians the confidence that the president is very, very sincere about his quote-unquote 100 days commitment. And that has to do with the issues about road connectivity. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we will begin making some analysis relative to the president's 100 days commitment. Let's take a short musical break.
It's so easy.
Connecting, yeah. Hey, ha. Boy, amen, amen, I can't take back hearing. DJ give me now your cool hearing. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay, okay. Chebe meka tamua. Say my pipina go join God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong. Get enough to drink with a chop cup. Hey, so you see how the thing goes? How the thing goes? Oh, you tell them who blend you. And who? Alright, take it easy and let's play some behind the way. Okay. This one of his double no we can't use. Go school, you go the firm tools. And all the parameters that you want to form too. See, even your papa not to save you. For all the cannabis when they pick it done too. Man, all the niggas don't find you. Because that nigga when you play more, he don't move. Oh boy, he don't move. Ha, hey, come on, let's go. Chebe meka tamua. Papakina go join God. Ha, you want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong. Get enough to drink with a drop cup. Ha, hey, Chebe, you see how the thing goes. I said, telling me who blends you. And who? Okay. Because you made it to the top throne. Let me see what my Godfather can do. Cause he's the father to the fatherless, a mother to the motherless, and not to know what can do. But promise not to fight again, not to do anything that will hurt again. Cause if you do, now be say you can talk again. And another time you go on again, that's why. Chebe meka tamua. Say my kina go join God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong. Get enough to drink with a drop cup. Ha, hey, tell me you see how it goes. Ha, hey.
All right, so we.
MC Caro.
But don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know say it, don't ask me. And I yeah say, don't ask me. And I know about it, don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know say it, don't ask me. And I yeah say, I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just want to do my thing and I just for CCP. He said, Caro, I said, Jack, I see something. But then now they see me. The Brabilla wait for me. I only get 15 minutes. Let me play till the fire fini. Oh my God, I got big ball, I got good ball. Look at money not there, but I get love. Why you want? All the other niggas so back. Billy pump. I don't wanna hear no trash. Billy pump. Catch him, boy. See yourself. action boy. Via se, pica, rosten in la biwa. In la biwa, rosten in la biwa. Azoya, and I know about it, don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yes, don't ask me. And I know about it, don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yes, I just wanna know, I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. Me, I got money, my lips stay. And I got time for people issue, yeah. I don't wanna be in the crowd. I don't have time. I don't.
All right, it's good to be back here. Thank you for staying with us. We, like I said, the days, the era of President Joseph Gima Bwaka is spanning. It's actually moving gradually. This gone 22nd of February marks exactly 1 month since Joseph Bwaka was sworn in as president by taking the oath of office. The oath of office which authorizes him to serve as president of the Republic of Liberia for the next 6 years. It was actually a colorful event. It was actually a colorful event. You witness a lot of the people from all around the world, and their attention basically was drawn to witness the process. Their attention was mostly to witness the process, to see how President-elect Joseph Bwaka was going to how then President John Kabila was actually going to hand power over to Joseph Bwaka. So it was actually a colorful event. It was graced by a lot of Liberians, some of our foreign friends. They actually graced the occasion. It was something to talk about. However, due to the overcrowdedness of the area, a very terrible situation took place, and the president fought prey to that particular situation. But that was before taking the oath of office. That was after taking the oath of office, rather. That was after taking the oath of office. About now, we have a new president at the executive mansion. Joseph Bwaka has taken office as the president of the country, and he has been making a lot of appointments. He has been making a lot of appointments. But one thing that I admire from Joseph Bwaka so much is the fact that he has since provided the space for many young people, who, and when during the days when the Unity Party was in opposition, people you normally hear on the radio, people you normally see in the trenches, and fasting to ensure that Joseph Bwaka becomes the president. These are the people you now see, you see their name on the website. The likes of Papa pass away, the likes of Daniel Sano, and and even though there are other old faces, and who've been around, who have worked in past governments, and they have worked in past government, they are still working in government, they have been on the international scene. But on the overall, you see a lot of beautiful people like Anthony Cornelia Crawford, former representative candidate of District 18, and she's now the deputy minister for administrations at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. And you see a lot of young people in Waka government. Is actually a testament of how Baka intends to have the young people in power. You have the young people taking part in the governance cycle of the country. The likes of Copper Passaway and so many other young people you have them holding strategic positions or key positions in government. You know, it's actually we have started that. Ellen was the one who actually started that. She started testing young people. She started exploring the talents, the potentials of young people. George Weah came over. He started that too. Joseph Parker has even gone far above all of those, all of those people. He has started to make a lot of, a lot of impacts in the country. And there have been so many young faces, uh, so many young faces. Uh, Nobody can tell me, especially when you have been following the political space of our country during the days the Unity Party under the leadership of Joseph Parker were in opposition. Nobody can tell me that they have not heard of Cornelia Crowd commenting on any of the national issues in the country. She played a very pivotal role throughout the process. She actually played a very pivotal role throughout of the process. Like a Copper Cup passed away, he was the man, even though he was not the kind of man you could see making a decision at the level of the party, but he he was actually making some positive decisions within the party and doing some crucial responsibility for the party. But he was always calling from one radio station, observing. But on the overall, this is how Joseph Walker has demonstrated his clearer, a practical voice, to empower the people. You know. So let's go over to Joseph Walker made a commitment that has to do with his 100 days in office, what he intends to do. So this particular story is being captured within the front page Africa, the Daily Observer newspaper, not front page. Waka to address world problems in first 100 days. We are at the point where we are prepared for the transition. That was before he took office as president of the country. We are at the point where we are prepared for the transition and begin the plan for the inauguration as we jumpstart the activities of governance. Waka announced Waka. President-elect Waka has vowed to address the country's numerous deplorable road problems within the first 100 days in office, just after the National Elections Commission declared him formally as the winner of the November runoff election. The electoral body formal declarations came 3 days after incumbent President George Weah gracefully conceded defeat, acknowledging the provisional result of the runoff vote. Waka secured victory with 50.64% of the second round balloting, while Weah garnered 49.36%. We are at the point where we are prepared for the transition, begin the plan for the inauguration. As we jumpstart the activities of governance, Waka announced 78, a former vice president, immediately after being officially pronounced the winner. As part of the ambitious 100-day plan, Waka has boldly stated that not a single car, I will read that again, as part of his ambitious 100-day plan, Waka has boldly stated that not a single car will get stuck on major roads, emphasizing his commitment to addressing the country's chronic road issues promptly. Although specifics of the plans were not disclosed, Waka's focus comes as the country's road network remains greatly underdeveloped, among the least developed in West Africa. The situation is worse during the rainy season, which lasts for 6 months, as roads across the country become inaccessible. It is, however, unclear what Waka
quick fix interpretations to the country's road problem, which is somehow better in the drought season, could consider the rain season while searching for a long-term solution. Liberians have been complaining and yearning for many things, and will review some of the hardship, especially those essential to their livelihood. President-elect said, "We will make sure that everyone is on board to build our country." He added, "We want to appreciate the Liberian public and the people of Liberia who protected those ballots that subsequently led to our election. The Unity Party and A Alliance are prepared to bring prosperity and everything the people have been yearning for over the years." The president-elect also expressed gratitude to WIA for graciously conceding defeat, saying, "We are all Liberians, and we and all we want is peace for this country, and our move would be to reconcile the society." Okay, so you just heard the commitment then President-elect Joseph Boakai made regarding how he intends to resolve or to solve or to provide permanent solution for what appears to be one of the long-standing problems Liberia has been confronted with for years, for decades, for several decades. You know, the issues about rural connectivity has been one of the issues in this country. Road is actually important. Road is tied to several other economic prosperity. If Liberia as a nation, one of the oldest in West Africa, if Liberia is to make any meaningful progress as a nation, the issue about rural connectivity is very, very key. I have been devoting my time to get myself acquainted with the new administration manifesto. Interestingly, they have a platform that speaks clearly about agriculture. They have a platform that talks significantly about rural connectivity. They have a platform that talks about the strengthening the rule of law. They have a plan to promote tourism in the country. But the most important thing, which is tied to every other thing, is the issues about the rural connectivity. The road network is so terrible. The road network is so terrible in this country. The road network is so terrible in this country. And nobody want to play politics about the road connectivity in this country. No one will want to play politics. So the issues about tackling the road connectivity is very crucial. It is very key. Because this issues about road connectivity is also tied to agriculture. It has a link with agriculture. If we are to to improve the kind of agricultural activities in this country by encouraging a mechanized agriculture or agricultural methodologies in this country. We must be very concerned about the rural connectivity as well. We must be concerned about rural connectivity. You can have the best farm. You can bring in the best tractors. You can have the biggest farm in the country. But after those agricultural products are groomed from whatever locations, the people will need to harvest those produce or those products from their farm, and they will have to bring it for the purpose of commercialization. And this is what makes rural connectivity so important. This is what makes rural connectivity overly important. So nobody will want to criticize the president for wanting to invest more abundantly in tackling the road challenges of our country. Nobody. Absolutely. We are aware of the fact that to tackle this road issue, it has a lot of financial activity attached to it. Sometimes it may involve lobbying. The government have to lobby with other international community to ensure that some of our diplomatic friends can help us in the process. Like the Japanese have been very accessible to us. One of the funniest roads we now have in the country was built by the Japanese, the Japan Freeway, and I was very impressed. I was very impressed when all of the diplomatic missions in the country have reaffirmed their support in a louder tone to working with this new administration. When the president actually highlighted that the Japanese government has developed key interest in the expansion of the road, some of the roads in Liberia, these are opportunities we have. And this is why those of you in government, you actually need to be very helpful to the government. You need to be very helpful to the government. This government has a lot of issues to settle. This government has a lot of issues to settle. You have a lot of issues to settle. You have the road connectivity issue. When you were in opposition for the last 6 years, you blasted at George Weah. When George Weah was widely referred to as bad road medicine, you took it to be the opposite. Now that you are in the driving seat, people are very keen. Liberians in the diaspora and even in the country are very keen to see how you intend to address this road problem. You think I would be one person who would say that the road issue is not something to deal with? It is actually something to deal with, and this road issue is also tied to tourism. This road issue is also tied to tourism. If you want to improve to significantly improve the tourism sector, you should also be taking the direction to improve the road network in the country. You should also be thinking, because when tourists come, they are not going to experience the regular hurdles and many Liberian experience that we are experiencing, because they will be making several trips to several tourism destinations in the country to see what you have, as a country. So the issues of road connectivity is actually key. But has there been any vivid action? Has there been any vivid action? I'm yet to see. Apparently, there are internal discussions surrounding how best the government intends to support his 100 days vision for the country. But for me, I have not seen any specific action plan that seek to address the problem. So people now want a very clear interpretation from Joe Biden, the president of the country. People are more interested for the president to give his vague interpretations of what he meant when he said no car will hit or will get stuck in the mud, or when he said he will make the road pliable. So that responsibility, the authority to provide a clearer interpretation relative to the president's commitment on addressing the road connectivity challenges in Liberia. Whether it is just a quick, whether it could be maybe a quick impact project to just alleviate the constraints people experience, or his commitment was intended to restore or to institute permanent solution. So we left with the president to give us a clear interpretations of how he intends to explain to the Liberian people regarding his 100-day commitment. And the 100 days is moving. People's eyes are all opening. The eyes of many people are opening to see how the president intends to proceed, specifically with regard to his 100 days commitment. Was it a lofty campaign promise? I don't want to believe that it was a lofty campaign promise intended to inspire the electors to actually buy into your presidential bid. And since the president took office, the president has since been reiterating. But we are yet to see any vivid action plans. If there are any other, if you all know of any other plans that the government has made, or any other actions or steps the government has made to address the road challenges in Liberia, you can just acquaint me with it. So at this moment, despite the president despite then President-elect Joseph Boakai didn't give a clear picture of how he intends to proceed regarding his 100 days commitment. People are now speculating there. If you listen to a lot of Liberians regarding how the president, whether the president would be successful in this 100 days commitment he announced earlier. People, the doubt continued to increase. The doubt continued to increase. They said that because the first 100 days as president on your watch will be during the course of the dry season. Obviously, there will be no hurdles regarding cash getting stock in the mall. So those are issues. So the interpretations, the better interpretation rests squarely on the president's shoulder. But Liberians are actually eager to see. Many are curious to see how Joseph Boakai intend to solve this road challenges problem. How His Excellency Joseph Boakai intends to